Mexico region. Pete McGuire from BAXTER-FX. Good morning to you as always. That is one to watch. Could that arrest the decline sooner than later?
Well, good morning, Carson, and good morning, Brooke. It's very interesting that this, as far as the hurricane season and storm activity, there's only been 2 other years in history that we've seen 2 storms before the June 1st period, and that was 1908 and 1887. And we've seen OJs being hit, so that's we're worried about production there, and of course with these ongoing hurricanes, what impact that's going to have to that price, and that rolls across, of course, to the crude market as well. So that's the great unknown, what impact Mother Nature's going to have.
But statistically, you would say the price is right at these levels, barring those 2 exceptions. We shouldn't be under threat anytime soon, short term.
Well, remember a couple of months ago, we kept on saying that we saw a 10 to 15% war premium put in as far as geopolitics. Crude peaked, crude at the start of the month on May the 1st was at $106, approximate 50 cents a barrel. Now it's at $90. It had a low of about 89. So we've seen that stripped out of it. We've also seen a very strong US dollar, considering that the euro is now sub 125, and we remain bearish on that. You know, very easy to get in this summer under 120. So that continues to really add a little bit more horsepower to that market.
Do you see the euro just tracking headlines? I mean, because a lot of people have predicted the euro's demise for a long time. It just doesn't seem to play out for I don't know, unknown reasons. I know it's back below 125 now, but it's been pretty resilient amid all of this. Well,
yeah, but it's still, Brooke, considering it was at 133 not that long ago. I think in the last I haven't got a chart here, but probably the last 4 to 5 weeks, it's had a very, very heavy, steady fall. Yeah. And we think that that will just continue because of that bad news just coming out really on a daily basis out of Eurozone. Carson mentioned something there as far as retail sales in Spain. So
was it a 2-year low overnight?
Yeah.
2-year low against the greenbacks.
Is it just kind of risk off, though? I mean, because the Australian dollar's dropped as well, and nothing to do with our economy or kind of problems with our banks.
No, it's just the strengthening of the US dollar. So that's the whole, the one goes up and one goes down, and that we think will just continue over this Northern Hemisphere summer. Okay. So, you know, the pressure is certainly on that Eurozone. Okay.
Let's talk platinum. Meanwhile, kind of we ignore this one, but if the growth profile is looking that pathetic out of Europe, is there going to be actual fundamental demand baked into this?
Well, 2 things is, first off, we've got mine production costs very, very expensive because of, we're going now down to 2 kilometres into the Earth's crust to retrieve platinum. So there's and you've got high energy costs in South Africa and wage costs. And the next part of it is that to retrieve an ounce of platinum, you're looking at about $1,440, $1,430 an ounce, actual production costs. And it's nearly at that point now as far as the physical market. So many analysts are calling that there's every chance you could see a 20% spike from here in the by the 4th quarter to around about $1,750 an ounce, because of increased auto sales and because of the glut in platinum is now falling about 90%. So there won't be a huge glut as there normally is, and that's going to impact price, which is going to be very interesting. So we're calling long platinum over the next couple of months.
So help me understand that one a bit better. So 1430's production costs, and we're around those levels at the moment. Correct. Do you start to see supply-side response where they start to say it's not worth it? Well,
it does, but we're seeing also, normally we see a glut, Brooke, as far as production, and this year that glut has shrunk to 37,000 ounces because we're looking at 90% fall off as far as that glut because of increasing, they're saying, jewellery, and you're looking at auto sales. So with Asia is certainly buying more auto sales. You can also take into consideration the scrap metal side of it, as far as scrap cars, the catalytic converters being stripped as far as that platinum. So there's that side of it as well.
You're flagging surging wage bills. It's coming back time and again as well as another headache and another pressure point on the price. Is that happening across all production markets, or
no,
some more than others?
Well, South Africa, because it's a large producer of platinum, and that's what we're basically mentioning, that, and of course that you're digging 2 kilometres into the Earth's crust. So those production costs are becoming more expensive. But if you've got open cut ore mines, I mean, I just had a look there on the screens. Copper's sitting at about 7,500. Wasn't that long ago, it was 8,500. So we are not seeing the same sort of impact there. And of course, iron ore prices are still around that 127, 129 price range.
The thing is, it worked for things like shale, didn't it? To actually go into uncomfortable depths to extract, but that was only so good as you had an elevated alternative, i.e. the crude price.
Yeah.
So as all these things start moving back into a more...
Lockstep.
Yeah. What is there an alternative for platinum? Or is that
No.
simply that occupies a stranglehold in these catalytic converters in these parts of the auto industry such that it will hold on to that value?
Yeah, palladium also, but principally what you're saying is right. No, there aren't alternatives, and we're becoming more green-centric, so in turn we're looking at far better emission controls on auto sales. Even you go to places like China and Taipei now, you're not seeing the diesel trucks blow as much black smoke into the air, and naturally, T. Boone Pickens is saying we want to see even the 18-wheelers on natural gas. So that whole change as far as, alternatives are very much on everyone's radar.
Pete, we've got to leave it there, but to wrap up, platinum, you're bullish, euro, bearish, and crude oil, neutral to bearish.
Yeah, because crude's an unknown at the moment. OPEC meeting on 14th of June, so we'll talk next week on that one.
That sounds great. Thank you so much, Pete
Thank you,
McGuire
Brooke.
from BAXTER-FX.